Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om. Welcome to this Sanskrit Ola Open Learning for All Sahitya-rasa Swada series. We are reading Malavikagnimitram, and today I want to start, because you all have been relishing Malavikagnimitram along with me. So I want you to know what is the best poetry, and how the poets, their treasure they have to preserve. So there is one poet called Bilhana who wrote Vikramanka Deva Charita. Okay, he is a Kashmiri poet. Kashmirian poet, and around 10th century or 11th century, he wrote Vikramanka Deva Charita, a historical epic poem, and he makes, he writes a very beautiful verse there. So, how it is applicable to Kalidasa, you have to tell me, okay? Sahitya patho nidhimanthanurtham kavyamritam rakshata he kavindraha Yadasya daitya ivaluntanaya kavyartha chaura praguni bhavanti. He says, O Kavindraha, O best poets, Kavishu Indraha, best poets, kavyamritam rakshata, please protect your nectar in the form of this kavya, beautiful kavya. Because it is amrita, it has to be coming up from the manthana. Now, the Amrita came after Ksheerasagara Manthana. So, this Manthanottham, this is also has come out of the churning. Churning of what? Sahitya Patho Nidhi. Pathas Nama Jalam. Pathodhir Jaladhir Payodhir Udadhir Varan Nidhir Varidhi. Do you know that Samasya Purti? No? Sometime I'll tell you. Okay, not today. So, Pathonidhi, Pathodhi or Pathonidhi both mean ocean. So, this is the ocean in the form of Sahitya. Sahitya Pathonidhi Manthanottham Kavyamritam He Kavindraha Rakshata. Why? Daityaha iva Lunthanaya Kavyartha Chauraha Praguni Bhavanti. There are enough poets who want to steal the poems of great poets like you. Kavya Artha Chauraha. They steal the Kavya also and the Artha also. So, Kavya Artha Chauraha, the Daityas, you imagine the Amrita Manthana, the Daityas were after the Amrita, right? Lunthanaya, Chauryaya, as they tried hard to steal away that Amrita, similarly here, Kavyartha Chauraha, Praguni, they multiply every day. Gunita, they are not just doubled, they get multiplied. And therefore, please protect your Kavyamrita. And such Kavyamrita, I feel you will agree with me that Kalidasa's every line, every word is Amrita. Be it Malavikagnimitram, which is his very first drama, so to say, but still, the sentences are also filled with so many alankaras and rasas and dhvanis. So, you will agree with me that Kalidasa is the best poet. Okay. So, last time we stopped, when Agnimitra is asking Vidushaka, Ko vrittantaha tatra bhavatyaha tava sakhyaha. And then Kalidasani, Vidushaka says, Yaha bidala grihitayaha parabhritikayaha. So, Malavika is like a parabhritika, a female kaku, anyaihi pushta. And that is so very applicable to her because she is working as a maid servant with Queen Dharini. Though herself a princess, now she is like a slave girl, right? So, she is anyaihi pushta. But as a parabhritika, a female kaku is pounced upon by a cat. Similarly, Malavika is pounced upon by a cat. And who is that cat? We were discussing the cat could be Dharini or the cat could be Iravati. Okay. Kathamiva sa khalu tapasvini taya pingalaksha sahara bhanda bhugruhe mrityumukheiva nikshipta or nikshepita. Nikshipta goes well with Dharini, but Dharini put her in a underground cellar where, it's like a storehouse where she has put Malavika at the request of whom? Naturally at the request of Iravati. And therefore Pingalakshaha, that brown-eyed one, the tawny-eyed one, so that will go with Iravati because she is Madaghurinita, and secondly she is angry with Agnimitra. Nanu matsamparkam upalabhya, obviously atha kim? Ka evam vimukhaha asmakam yena chandikrita devi. Why Queen Dharini got so angry that she put Malavika in the underground cell, Shrunotu Bhavan, Vidushaka tells, Parivrajikaya me kathitam. I was told by Parivrajika, Yaha kila tatra bhavati Iravati Rujakranta Charanam Devim Sukham Prashtum Agata. We all know that Dharini had a fall from the swing and she has got her leg injured, and that's why she could not do the Dohada of Ashoka. So Iravati, as a courtesy call to ask the senior queen, how she is feeling. So Iravati went to ask the well-being of Queen Dharini there. Okay. Rujakranta Charanam Devim Sukham Prashtum Agata. Tatastataha sa Devya Prishta. That time Dharini asked Iravati. Iravati was asked by Queen Dharini. Iravati Devya Prishta. Kinnu avalokitaha vallabhajanaha iti. Kinnu avalokitaha vallabhajana. Vallabhajana is a favorite person. Vallabha is beloved or lover. This is a very interesting word if you see the etymology of that. Vall is the root, Valla Vallati, and Valla is Samvarane. If you remember the word Valli is a creeper because it surrounds, right? And therefore Vallabha is one who embraces the beloved or the lover. So this is the Valli also derived from the same root, Vallabha also, Abhaj Pratyaya, and Vallabha also from the same root. Okay. There is another word from Valla is Vallaki, which is used for Veena. Vallaki is Veena. So many, one word, you have so many different words meaning different thing. So, Kinnu avalokitaha vallabhajanaha. So, see, this is the royal, what you can say, the politics in the harem of the kings. Okay. Dharini is the eldest queen. She is senior. She is Mahishi. Iravati is a younger queen. And naturally, Iravati was more, closer to Agnimitra. So, Dharini must have a sukshma asuya for Iravati, because Iravati was his beloved, and therefore she is asking, so you being a beloved, were you seen by him? Did Agnimitra see you? Because she is updated by her maid servants that Iravati has taken a date, an appointment with King Agnimitra for Dolarohana in the Pramadavana. We all know that, right? So, there is a date, there is an appointment of Iravati and Agnimitra. So, were you seen, the beloved of the king, were you seen by the king? Taya Uktam, and then Iravati said, Mandova Upacharaha Yat Parijane Sankrantam Vallabhatvam Nadnyayate. Why are you asking me this? As if you don't know that Vallabhatva, that belovedness, that designation has been transferred, Sankrantam, to your Parijana. Malavika is the Parijana, the maid servant of Dharini. See the queens, how they talk to each other with that sarcasm. Mandova Upachara. So you asking me this, is of no use. I mean, it's just a formality. Upachara. It could be Madovaha Upacharaha. Somebody, has a Patha Bheda here. Instead of Manda, it could be Mada. So, because you are a Mahishi, you have that, Garva. You have that Abhimana. And therefore you are asking me sarcastically, as if you don't know that the Vallabhatva has been already transferred to your maid servant. Sankrantam Vallabhatvam na jnayate. Raja says, Nirbhedadritepi. So, Iravati has not made a clear, distinct remark, distinct reference to Malavika. Nirbhedadriteapi. Even though there is no clear-cut mention, distinctly she is not mentioned, articulated, Malavikayam ayam upanyasaha shankayati. This refers to Malavika. Tataha, and then Dharini was curious to know what happened exactly, why Iravati is so angry, right? So, Taya anubadhyamanaya, Dharini was pressing her, what happened, anubadhyamanaya, and being pressed for so much time, bhavataha avinayam antarena parigrihitartha krita devi. So, Iravati told her all that happened in the third act. How she caught you red-handed, haste utthapayati, and all that, sparshadohadam puraya, all that, parigrihitartha krita devi. She narrated every bit of that information. Aho dirgharoshata tatra bhavatyaha. The king says, Iravati should have known me by now, right? Why should she be resentful and so angry with me for such a long time? Dirgharoshata. So, very unforgiving behavior of Iravati. Atah param kathaya. Kim atah param, Vidushaka says. The moment Dharini heard all this, so to please Iravati, she is the younger queen, right? And as an elder queen, she has to take care of everybody in the household, in the harem. Kimatah param Malavika Bakulavalika cha Nigadapadyau Adrishta Suryapadam Patalavasam Nagakanyake iva Anubhavataha. So both these Malavika and Bakulavalika, dual, dvivachana, Anubhavataha, they are experiencing what? Patalavasam. Their stay in the nether world, that is the underground Sarabhanda Bhugruha, underground storeroom, okay, that granary which is there in the illam, you see, similar like that. So, Patalavasam, where Adrishta Surya Padam, Kidrisham Patalavasam, where Vasaha Tadrishaha, Yatra Suryasya Padaha na Drishyante. The rays of the sun cannot reach that place. It's a dark cell, okay? It's a dark cell. Adrishta Surya Padam Patalavasam. Some people have, some distinct editions they have Adrishta Surya Pade. That means it will go to these two, like Nigadapadyau. Nigadapadi is a feminine, Nigadapadyau is the dual, Nadi Nadyau, Nadyaha. So Nigadapadyau, so their both feet fettered, chained, okay, Shrinkhala Baddhau, Charanau. So Nigadapadyau and Adrishta Surya Pade, where their pada cannot see even the ray of the sun. Ray of the sun is ray of hope. What is ray of sun? A ray of hope. So they are utterly now in dismay, disappointment, because who will take them out from that Patalavasa? So Anubhavataha Nagakanyake iva, as if they are Nagakanyaka. So Nagaloka it is supposedly underground, in the Patalaloka, the Nagas reside. So there is a Sukshma Bheda between Naga and Sarpa. Sarpanam Vasuki Rasmi and Naganam Anantaha. Anantaschasmi Naganam, right? So Nagas are like, you can say, a species, they are half human and half serpent. So their upper body is human and their lower part, the feet and all, they don't have. They are like Naga. We have got many sculptures of this type, in our temples and all. So Naga Kanyake. And Nagas, they perhaps, even now we have Nagaland. There is a Nagpur city called Nagpur in Maharashtra, right? And there are Nagas. In Kerala especially, we have Nagas, Nagayakshi, Mannarashala, the Nagaraja temple in Kerala, right? So Nagas basically inhabitants of some localities, okay. In fact, Dhritarashtra is the name of a Naga. The Kauravas, Anantam Vasukim Shesham Padmanabham Chakumbalam Dhritarashtram Shankhapalam Takshakam Kaliyam Tatha Etani Navanagani Naganam cha Mahatmanam. So he is also a Naga. Basically, the Kauravas. So they have their traces to the Naga. I mean, I am not going into the sociological aspect, but Naga Kanyake Anubhavataha. If you know the Mahabharata, Ulupi was a Naga Kanya who was married to Arjuna. Right? Ulupi was a Naga Kanya. So Naga Kanyake Anubhavataha. Kashtam. Madhuraswara Parabhrita Bhramaricha Vibhuddha Chuta Sanginyau Kotaram Akala Vrishtya Prabala Purovataya Gamite. So very good example of Aprastuta Prashamsa here. Madhuraswara Parabhrita, having a very sweet note, sweet voice. This Parabhrita, that is a female Kaku, and Bhramari, the female bee. So this Parabhrita Madhuraswara refers to Malavika, and Bhramari refers to Bakulavalika, her friend. Vibhuddha Chuta Sanginyo, both were associated with Chuta, that is the mango tree, which is Vibhuddha, awakened, literally awakened. For tree being awakened is fully blossomed. Okay? Tree is awakened means fully putting forth flowers. So, Vibhuddha Chuta Sanginyo, and that refers to Agnimitra. Both are associated with the Chuta, that is the mango tree, Bakulavalika and Malavika. Both were in the company of Agnimitra when all this happened, when Iravati saw them together, right? And now Iravati came there as what? Akala Vrishti Prabala Purovata. Iravati. So this is Aprastuta Prashamsa. You know, basically, if a Kaku, female Kaku and a Bhramari, they are driven to a kotara, a hollow in the tree because of untimely rain and stormy wind, and therefore they are compelled to take resort to a hollow to save themselves. Similarly here now, this Bakulavalika and Malavika, they were gamite, they were bound to go, they were obliged to go. They didn't go on their own to Patalaloka. They were sent to the Patalaloka, the underground cell, the dark cell, by Iravati, who came there. Nobody, expected Iravati to be there, right? So, Akala Vrishti. So, this came as Akala Vrishti and Prabala Purovata, a stormy wind, okay? So, Iravati's wrath, her anger has caused that storm that had created a storm in the life of Malavika, and poor Malavika, the sweet girl, and her accompanying Bakulavalika, her friend. And Bhramari, Brahmara has the habit of hovering around something or somebody. Bakulavalika is always associated with Malavika. So Bhramari is very apt for her. So Madhuraswara Parabhrita Bhramari cha Vibhuddha Suta Chuta Sanginyo Kotaram Akala Vrishtya Prabala Purovataya Gamite. Api atra kasyachid upakramasya gatisyat. Can there be any scheme? Can you think of somebody, something, some plan by which you can take them out of that underground cell? Katham bhavishyati, Vidushaka, Katham bhavishyati, yat sarabhanda grihe vyapruta madhavika, there is a keeper there. It's not, they are under lock and key, and the keeper called Malavika, Devya Sandishta, she has been ordered, she has been told by Devi Dharini, Mama Anguliyaka Mudram Adrishtva Na Moktavya Tvaya Hatasha Bakulavalika Malavika Chaiti. Without seeing my signet ring, you are not to release at anybody's request. So ring is the only thing, my ring is the only thing, okay? So that is a clear instruction given by Dharini to Madhavika, the keeper, the female guard there on that cell. Nishvasya. Now what is the way out of this? how to get the ring of Queen Dharini. That is the main thing, right? Otherwise there is no other hope. Saparamarsham. And then thinking, para plus mrisha has two meanings. Paramrishati is to touch also, paramrishati. So maybe he is touching Vidushaka, that means, he wants to get some courage from Vidushaka. Now I am so desperate to see Malavika, you are my only friend who can help me in this, right? So holding his hand, friend in need is a friend indeed. So paramrishya, maybe touching Vidushaka or thinking, paramrishya, thinking. Sakhe kimatra kartavyam. Vidushaka is also thinking on the same. What is the plan now? How the ring should be obtained and how they can plan any scheme, any device by which they both could be brought out. And then Vichintya, Astyatra Upaya. Upaya has to be there. How otherwise the Nataka will proceed, right? Astyatra Upaya. And therefore when I started in the beginning Malavikagnimitram, I said, more than the king Agnimitra, the entire, the plot development is processed, is anchored by Vidushaka. It is not Agnimitra who is the hero, who is the neta, nayati iti neta, who takes the plot ahead. It is not Agnimitra, it is Vidushaka. Okay. So, Astyatra Upaya. Kaiva, what is the Upaya? Sadrishtikshepam atra tatra drishtva. If somebody listens to, it's a very secret thing. Kopi adrishtaha shrunoti. We don't see anybody, but somebody might listen. Kopi adrishtaha shrunoti. And I told you last time, Shatkarano bhidyate mantraha. Last time I quoted this verse. If you have some secret thing with your own self, then Brahmapi dvikaranasya cha mantrasya Brahmapyantam na gacchati. If I share my secret with you, who I confide in, then that secret will remain Chatushkarana, only my 2 years and your 2 years. But if a third party, third person were to listen, Shatkarano Vidyate Mantra, then it becomes a rumor. It spreads like a wildfire. Okay? Kopi Adrishtaha Shrunoti, Karnete Kathayami. Let me tell you, whisper in your ear. And that is a secret because, the spectators and the readers, they must also be anxious to know what is that, what is that. Otherwise, if you lose that Autsukya, there is no charm in reading further. The Autsukya has to be there for everybody. And this is a enacted drama. So, for the spectators, the Autsukya has to be retained. Then, Upashlishya Karane, like we say, come, I'll tell you. And then, he tells that secret, Karane, evamiva. And iti avedayati saharsham. The king was, like Nishvasya, Saparamarshya and all that. Now, saharsham, sushtu chintitam, prayujjatam siddhaye. Go and acquire siddhi, Pravishya. Now, he had sent Jayasena, what the queen is doing, when we saw the beginning of this fourth act. So, he had sent Jayasena, the Pratihari. So, she enters and Deva, Pravata Shayane Devi Nishanna, Raktachandana Dharina, Parijana Hastagatena, Charanena, Bhagavatya, Kathabhihi, Vinodyamana, Tishtati. A long sentence, but two things are given there. There is some diversion to Queen Dharini from the pain in her legs, in her foot. One by this Parivrajika telling her some stories, some satsang, informal satsang, like we had yesterday. So, that is Vinodyamana, diverting. So, Parivrajika is diverting her mind, that is for mentally, and physically for her pain. Raktachandana Dharina, Parijana Hastagatena, Charanena. So, the Parijana, her maid servants, they are holding her feet and applying some Anulep and all that, Dukkha Dabaulep. Okay. So, Raktachandana Dharina, Parijana Hastagatena. So, physically also she is being soothed and calmed, and mentally also she is diverted. Tenahi asmat pravesha yogyaha yam avasara. Then this is the nice time for me to go and inquire about her health. Tad gacchatu bhavan aham api devim drashtum ariktapanihi bhavishyami. Then Vidushaka and king were to go together, but Vidushaka said, no, I would go somewhere. Why? Because I want to bring something, to offer to queen. Riktapanirna pashyeta rajanam devatam gurum. The king, the devata and the guru, you should never go to them empty-handed. And therefore Guru Dakshina, or you go to the temple, at least some chawal, nahi to paisa, fruits, something or the other, right? So I am going to see the queen, so I should not go Rikta Hasta, and therefore I'll get something. So you please proceed, I'll follow you. Tatha. And then Jayasenayaha tavat samvedya gacha. King takes this caution and he says, whatever you have told me that plan, please make Jayasena party to that. Okay? Please tell her, because she has a role to play in all that scheme. So tell her her role to play and then you go. Tatha, Karne. And then to her also he talks in her Karna. Iti avedya nishkranta. And then Raja Jayasene pravata shayana margam adeshaya. So lead me to that, So normally the kings they know every chappa of their palace, but then they are escorted by somebody every time. Ita ito devaha. Tatah pravishati shayanastha devi parivrajika vibhavatascha parivaraha. I was discussing once, shayanastha devi chet katham pravishet. Pravishati chet katham shayanastha bhavet. Right? If she is sleeping, she can't enter. If she is entering, she can't be sleeping. That means it is another scene now. This is another scene. Tatah pravishati. The Patras, he takes her, Jayasena takes the king from this wing to the other wing. In the meanwhile, there is this queen and all seated. Maybe there is a curtain in the, I think sometimes I told you about the, how is the Indian stage. There is Rangapitha and Rangashirsha. So Rangapitha is the front stage. Rangashirsha is little raised, elevated stage. Maybe Rangashirsha could have been used. And there is a curtain, so behind that Rangashirsha, the queen is already there, the scene is already ready, the curtain is removed, and then the king goes and sees the king, not the queen. Bhagavati Ramaniyam Kathavastu. Now this is a conversation between Devi Dharini and Parivrajika. Parivrajika is telling some stories, something going on, and Devi is remarking, Bhagavati Ramaniyam Kathavastu Tatastataha. So what next? So some story has been going on. Parivrajika says, Sadrishtikshepam, she has eyed Vidisheshwara coming. Devi atah param punah kathaishyami. I tell you later, atra bhavan Vidisheshwaraha sampraptaha. Here comes the king of Vidisha. Aho Aryaputraha, she wants to get up. Iti utthatumicchati. Usual greetings, when the husband comes, Raja, so she has to get up. Alamalam upachara. No, please do not make any formality, because you have injured your feet. How can you stand on your feet, your legs are injured. Alamalam upachare yantranaya. Anuchita nupura viraham na arhasi tapaniya pitha kalambi charanam rujaparitam kalabhashini mamcha pidayitum. The verse as such, while reading, it doesn't make much sense. It's very like a prosaic verse, but it's a very good example of what you can call Tulya Yogita Alankara. Two things happening simultaneously. So the king calls her as Kalabhashini, Madhuraswara. Kalabhashini, Kala is beautiful, sweet sound, Bhashini. So Kalabhashini, Mam Rujaparitam charanam cha pidayitum na arhasi. Please don't do what? Mam pidayitum, don't trouble me by getting up, because then you will be in more trouble, and seeing you in trouble, I will feel so sorry, right? And therefore, mam pidayitum and rujaparitam charanam. Already you have wounded your legs. So if you stand on your feet again, there will be more pain in that. So don't trouble your foot, don't trouble me also. Both things simultaneously. How is this food? Ruja paritam. It is already afflicted by pain. Tapaniya pithaka alambi, which is resting or which deserves to be resting on the footstool made up of gold. Tapaniya is kanaka, gold. Tapaniya, that which is heated, and when heated it becomes or nikharata hai sona, right? So tapaniya pithaka lambi charanam. So the mainly, I am also having a stool, but not a golden one. So Tapaniya Pitaka, the kings, etc., they had the footstool, golden footstool, right? So the kings and the queens, they rested their feet not on the ground, on the footstool, okay? So Tapaniya Pitaka Lambi Charanam, but now we just learned, in the previous lines that Rakta Chandana Dharina Parijana Gatena Charanena. So the Parijana is holding her Charana now. It is not resting on the footstool, it is in the hands of the maid servants, okay? So, which deserves to be resting on the Tapaniya Pitaka, now being held in hands by the Parijana. And another thing is, because there is pain and there is wound, she has removed the golden anklets from her feet. Anuchita Nupura Viraham. The queen, the chief queen alone is entitled to wear the golden anklets. And if you remember, the golden anklets of Queen Dharini, she had given to Malavika for the Ashoka Dohada Purana. Right? In the third act we saw, right? So, Anuchita Nupura Viraham. The king has not seen the queen's feet without the Nupura. So, that Anuchita, that is improper, not having Nupura, and that to golden Nupura, okay? Anuchita Nupura Viraham and Tapaniya Pitaka Lambi Te Charanam Idanim Ruja Paritam Pidayitum Narhasi Mamcha Tena Pidayitum Narhasi, okay? So, this is the Tulya Yogita Alankara. Jayatu Aryaputra, seated only she greets him. Vijayatam Devaha, Parivrajika says, Parivrajikam Pranamya Upavishya Devi, Api Sahyate Vedana. How is your feet now? Is it better? Asti me Visheshaha. This is a typical phrase in Sanskrit. I feel better. Asti me Visheshaha. There is difference. Vishesha is difference. There is difference from what it was yesterday. So, I am feeling much better today. Okay? So, when you are conversing in Sanskrit, this is the thing, which you have to use. Somebody is inquiring about your health. Asti me Visheshaha. So, kal se thoda acha hai, right? Asti me Visheshaha. This is typically used in all the dramas, okay? Tatah pravishati. Now, the Vidushaka is on some mission. Arikta panihi. Now the time to enter, because the regular formalities have been exchanged. How are you? This, that. Everything is done. Now there is nothing more for the king to say, right? So Vidushaka has to enter. Tatah pravishati yajñopavita baddha angushtaha sambhrantaha Vidushakaha. Vidushaka, very frightened, sambhrantaha. Sambhrantaha, frightened only, agitated, frightened. And his angushta is tied around that angushta. There is yajñopavita baddha. With his yajñopavita, he has tied his angushta and he enters. Paritrayatam bhavan sarpena dashtosmi. I am bitten by a snake. I am bitten by a snake. Sarve vishanna. Oh, what is this? Now, this plot is known only to the king and the Vidushaka. Jayasena is not in that scene. Jayasena will be, she's a doorkeeper, right? She will be standing out. So, here, now, if you see in the second act onwards, Parivrajika was a party for Malavika to appear in front of the king. Parivrajika had a role in that, right? But here, Parivrajika also is not aware of this plan. Only the king and Vidushaka, only these two are aware of this plan, but they both have to act very nicely. The actors who are doing this, they have to act as if they don't know what is this. So sad, so sad. Sarve Vishanna. Kashtam, kashtam. Kva bhavan paribhranta. Where were you wandering aimlessly like this, that you got bitten by a snake? Kva bhavan paribhranta. He knows it is all a drama, but then he has to act. Devim drakshami iti achara pushpa grahana karanat pramadavanam gatosmi. I went to Pramadavana. Why? I thought that I will bring some flowers, etc. to the queen. Ariktapanihi kila drashtavya radni. Tarhi drakshami iti achara pushpa grahana karanat. So Devi is the cause. Devi karanat achara pushpa grahana karanat pramadavanam gatosmi. Queen is very simple. Queen Dharini. She is not like Iravati. She is very simple. Hadhik. Ahameva brahmanasya jivita samshaya nimittam jatasmi. If he dies now, I will be the cause of that. So jivita samshaya nimittam jatasmi. And then Vidushaka has not yet completed his sentence. Pramadavanam gatosmi. And then what happened? Tasmin ashokas tabaka karanat prasarite dakshina haste kotara nirgatena sarparupena kalena dashtosmi. So when I just had extended my hand to pluck the bunch of the ashoka flower, you remember the ashoka has not put forth blossoms in the Pramadavana, the Tapaniya ashoka. Now some days have passed. Yadi Pancharatra Bhyantare Vikasati. That was the promise. So it has already in blossoms. So he is plucking that bunch of flower, and that time only Kotara Nirgatena. Huge trees have Kotara, hollows in that. In the hollows there will be these serpents, etc. Right? Crawling creatures. So Kotara Nirgatena Sarpena Dashtosmi. Nanu ete de dvamshapade, he shows them, the 2 marks, the bite of the snake, the 2 marks, dvamshapade. Later we come to know that he has made those marks by Ketaki Kantaka. By the Ketaki, Kevda, Ketaki Kantaka. Nanu ete dve dvamshapade. Then Parivrajika, she doesn't know about this plan and all. She really feels so sad. Then she said, what is the remedy now? You have to think of not just, oh, I am so sorry, I am so sad. You have to think of some solution. Te nahi danshachedaha purva karma iti shruyate. What you first have to do is danshachedaha, the portion, the amputation of the sting portion, So, danshachedaha purva karma iti shruyate satavadasya kriyatam. That should be done for Vidushaka. Parivrajika is an elderly lady. She is well versed in all sciences. She was an expert for the dance also, Charita Nritya of Malavika. She was a jury for that. And she is an expert in this Vishavaidya also. She knows everything. There is nothing in the on the surface of the earth under the sun which she doesn't know of. She knows everything. Okay. And then there is a verse which is like, which shows Kalidasa's acquaintance with Ayurveda, Vishavaidya. So it is not Parivrajika speaking, it is Kalidasa speaking. He is exhibiting, he is manifesting his own scholarship thereby, right? So, Chedaha Danshasya Dahova Kshaterva Raktamokshanam Etani Dashtamatranam Ayushyaha Pratipattayaha. These are the remedies. Pratipattayaha, remedies. Ayushyaha, giving life again to Dashtamatranam, who are bitten by poisonous snakes and all. And what are these 3 things? Chedaha, okay, Danshachedaha, that is the cutting of that thing, cauterization. Then Dahova, burning of it, or Raktamokshanam, or let the blood ooze out from that. And that oozing out could be done by Jalauka as well. Jalauka is leech. Okay. And Vagbhata, the Katyavema, the commentator of this Malavikagnimitram, he quotes from Vagbhata and other works, Vaidya Chandrodaya, Adau tu Sravayed Raktam Chitva Shastrena Danshataha, And then Bahirvargi Krite Rakte Visham Tasmat Vinashyati. So there has to be a Cheda, and then Rakta also, let Rakta also go, and all that. Urdhva Sroto Nugeshve Kshvede, etc., etc. That is Vaidya Chandrodaya. And Vagbhata also he has mentioned. It means the same thing. So that has to be the Parama Shira. Vishe pravisrute vidhet shiram sa paramakriya shirasu adrishyam. The nerve should be cut. If the nerve is not seen above that dansha, then adrishyamanasu shrunga jalaukasaha yojyaha. There the leech should be employed, the leech should be kept on that wound so that they will suck all that bad and poisonous blood. Okay. So, if you remember Dhanvantari, when he emerged out of, he emerged out of Kshirasagara Manthana. Dhanvantari is Vishnu's incarnation, but one of his hands he holds Amrita Kalasha and one is leech. Okay? Dhanvantari's Pratima, if you see, he holds leech in his hand. So, leech has much role in Ayurveda. Then Raja says, Samprati Vishavaidyanam Karma. You can't treat him like this, in front of the queen, and, he has to be taken to the toxicologist, the Vishavaidya, the poison doctor, or bring him here. Jayasene Kshipramaniyataam Dhruva Siddhi. There is a doctor there. His name is Dhruva Siddhi. Dhruva Siddhi Asya iti. His Siddhi is always Dhruva, permanently, it's assured success. Kshipramaniyataam. Kshipram, quickly. Yad deva adnyapayati iti nishkranta. Then till she comes, Vidushaka has to maintain that he is being bitten by a snake. Right? Aho papena mrityuna gruhitosmi. I am going to die, oh bye bye, like that. Papena mrityuna gruhitosmi. Mahakataro bhuhu. Don't be afraid, Raja says. Avishopi kadachit dansho bhavet. Who knows? The snake might be non-poisonous. Not every snake is poisonous. Very logical. Avishenapi avishopi kadachit dansho bhavet. Katham na bheshyami sima sima yanti me angani. He is acting that he is getting convulsions. Sima sima is like thandi se kapra bharta na. Kapra bharta, shiv shivta, like that. So my whole body has got a tremor. So this is one of the effects of Visha. And there are Ashtavidha effects. Again, commentator will tell you. So when Kalidasa gives such dialogues, that means he knows what are the after effects of the snake bite. If it is a poisonous snake bite, then what are the after effects of that? So simasimayanti me angani iti vishavegam rupayati. So in the Vishavega, it is stated Vishavegaha Ashtadha. 8 types are there, Vishavega. The what you can say, the after effects of the poisonous bite, that could be, it is given in the Vasantarajiya grantha called Vasantarajiya. Vishavegastu Vasantarajiye kathitaha. Vaivaranyam, paleness of a body. Vaivaranyam. Vepathuhu, tremor. Dahaha, burning. Phenaha, foam. Face etotondala, foam. Skandhasya bhanjanam, dropping of the shoulders. Dukkham, so much of pain, agony. Jadyam, badhirata. I mean, you don't have any sensation. Okay? Jadyam. And then mriti, death. So these are the 8 Vishavegaha. So Vishavegam nirupayati. So this Vishavega is like Vepathuhu. Okay? Simasimayanti me angani. This is an onomatopoetic word. Simasimayanti me. Dhvanyanusari kriyapada. Dhvanyanusari shabda. Iti Vishavegam rupayati. Devi really feels, oh, he is going to die now, and because of me, it all happened. So she takes the onus on herself, and she says, darshitam ashubham vikarena. This vikara or visharena. Vikarena or Visharena, both. Avalambadhvam Brahmanam. Somebody please support him. He will fall down and he may die. No, she is really concerned. She is really worried. Parijanaha sasambramam avalambate. There are Parijana besides her, right? Holding her hand and all. So they quickly go and avalambate. Vidushaka still continuing his acting. Rajanam vilokya. Bhoho bhavataha balyat priyavayasyaha asmi. I am your dear friend right from the childhood. Tad vicharya, keep it in mind. And aputrayaha me jananyaha yogakshemam vaha. When I die, my mother will be childless. Aputra. Aputrayaha me jananyaha yogakshemam. Apraptasya prapanam yogaha. Praptasya cha rakshanam kshemaha. So you please take care of my mother who will be rendered childless when I die. Because you are my dear friend. Who else can I have trust upon? Only you, right? So, Mahabhaishihi, Sthiro Bhava. Raja is trying to console him. Achiratvam Vaidyaha Chikitsate. Dhruva Siddhi is there. He is true to his name. Why are you worrying? Even if it's the most deadly, fatal, poisonous snake, Dhruva Siddhi will cure you. Don't worry. Chikitsate. Chikitsate, chikitsa, grammatically, we use such words, chikitsa, chikitsaka as a vaidya. So very commonly, we don't understand the grammatical process in that. This is a sannanta, desiderative. Chikitsa, that sa is desiderative or sannanta pratyaya. Kita is the root. And in sannanta, we always have the abhyastanga, right? Like bubhukshati, pipasati, right? These are all sannantas, desideratives. Mumukshati, moksha is also sannanta. So kita has 2-3 meanings. Kita is gatau or roga nivarane or kita is jnane. Language, Sanskrit language is so rich. I always say whenever there is a scope, I don't forget to tell this. Kita jnane also is the root. Kita roga nivarane, this is roga nivarane. And therefore chikitsate, one who would desire to heal you, cure you. He is the Vaidya. And therefore chikitsaka, one desirous to heal people, cure people. Okay. And gatau also, kita is all used for gatau. And kita jnane, I always tell the example, Ketu, the word. Ketu. Ketu means what? Dvaja, black, flag. Ketu is dvaja or flag, right? Banner or flag. Why? Because it is a sign, it's an indication of the knowledge to whom it belongs. For example, if you take Kapidhvaja has to be Arjuna. So Dhvaja or Ketu is the gamaka, the indicator. It gives you the knowledge of the person, and therefore kita jnane. You have a word Drishtaketushchekitanaha in Bhagavad Gita. He fought from the Pandavas side. Drishtaketu and his son Chekitana. Chekitana, by the way, is one of the synonyms for Shiva. Chekitana is also means Shiva. So many meanings. See, from one root you add this, that sa pratyaya, and it becomes chikitsa, chikitsate, chikitsaka, another line, another path. And kita jnane is another path. Chekitana or Ketu, these are all like jnana. Chekitana, full of jnana. Okay. Anyhow, Vaidyaha chikitsate pravishya Jayasena has gone to bring him Kshipramaniyata. Deva Ajñapitaha Dhruva Siddhihi Vidnyapayati. Earlier we saw Sambhrantaha Vidushakaha, and then king asks Kva Bhavan Paribhrantaha, Brahma, Sam and Pari, the meaning changes. Here Ajñapitaha Dhruva Siddhihi Vidnyapayati. You ordered Dhruva Siddhi, but he is making a request. Vidnyapayati. Ihaiva aniyatam Gautama iti. Please bring Gautama here to me, because I have all the things ready here, If I am to come there, then all my medicines, etc. won't be there, right? And secondly, there is no Dhruva Siddhi at all here. It's all Jayasena acting that she is going and she is coming back because she is a party to the plot. So Dhruva Siddhi, exactly, actual person is unwanted here, not at all required for the plot, okay? And therefore, why to bring him unnecessarily on the stage? And therefore, he sends the message, Ihaiva aniyatam, and that is so logical, right? You should go to the Vaidya, right? Tena hi varshavara parigrihitamenam tatra bhavataha sakasham prapaya. Then get him supported by Varshavara. Varshavara are the eunuchs. Eunuchs, normally the Shanda, the Napunsaka people, antahpuracharinaha napunsakaha Varshavaraha iti uchante. Varshavara, it is Vru Avarana basically, and Varsha is the Reto Varshana. So, Reta Varshanasya Avarakaha Varshavaraha. So, that is the etymology. So, basically in the harem, there were employed such eunuchs because for the ladies there was no fear from such eunuchs, right? No vyabhichara could have happened, and therefore eunuchs were the keepers or the guards of the harems. So Varshavaran, Varshavara Parigrihitamenam, this is Queen Dharini's palace, the eunuchs would be there around. So get him supported by these people, and tatra bhavataha sakasham prapaya. So somebody just accompanies. Tatha devim vilokya vidushaka jate jate. He has told king to take care of his childless mother. Now queen also, he should apologize if he has done anything wrong. Please kshantavyaha, etc. Bhavati jiveyam nava. I don't know whether I will live or not. Yan maya atra bhavantam sevamanena te aparadham tanmarshaya. If I have done anything wrong to you, te aparadham. If I have done anything wrong to you, if I have insulted you, and doing what? Atra bhavantam sevamanena. While serving your husband, might be a friend, maybe I have gone wrong from your side, or I have insulted you, I have disregarded you. That was not deliberate, that was in the service of my friend. Stan marshaya, please forgive me for whatever crimes I might have indeliberately committed. Dirghayur bhava. She really from her heart she wishes him, otherwise the blame would be on her. So dirghayur bhava. Nishkranto vidushakaha pratihari. So only Vidushak and Pratihari go. There are no people going because everybody else would come to know, right? That there is no snake bite and nothing is there. So only Pratihari and Vidushakaha Nishkranto. Raja says, Prakriti bhiruhu tapasvi Dhruva siddhehe api yathartha namnaha siddhim na manyate. He is really very timid fellow, Vidushaka. He doesn't even care for the name and the brand name of Dhruva Siddhi, that he is sure shot success, Yathartha namnaha siddhim na manyate. Jayasena goes with him. She has deposited him with so-called Dhruva Siddhi and comes back with some message for the king, because the king has to go now. This is all a plan, right? King has to go out. Jayatu Bharata, Dhruva Siddhi vidnyapayati. In a moment, okay? Dhruva Siddhi. So he is just in the next room. Dhruva Siddhi vidnyapayati. Udakumbha vidhane sarpamudritam kimapi kalpaitavyam. He wants to do Udakumbha vidhana. Apart from treating and medicating, there is something which is called a divine intervention, This is what we say in the Atharva Veda, which is called Bhaishajya Veda. Bhaishajya is medicine, but there is a demarcation between Aushadham and Bheshajam. Aushadham dravya sanyogaha, as Ayurveda says. Aushadha is combination of 2-3 different ingredients. Dravya sanyogaha, okay? Whereas Bheshaja is something divine, like a yajna, like a japa, like some rite to be performed for the cure of some illness. Okay, that is called Bhaishaja. And Atharva Veda is full of, and therefore, there are so many suktas in the Atharva Veda. For example, there is in the 5th Kanda a sukta 5.5, Laksha Sukta. Laksha is a creeper, and Shastraghate Daheva, the Viniyoga is given if a person gets wounded by any sword, okay, or he gets burned, then that Laksha Lepa is to be applied. Simultaneously, the Laksha is the Kwatha, the Kashaya. The Kashaya is to be drunk, and the Sukta, the mantras, to be recited. And when you are reciting any mantras, for example, if you are reciting any in the Ganesha Homa, etc., Udaka Shanti, etc., we do very normally, we keep the kalasha, and all the mantras are recited with that kalasha filled with water. And after that mantras, etc., over, what do we do? What does the priest do? Sprinkle the water, because that becomes enchanted jar. Enchanted jar, By chanting, all the powers of the mantras go into that water. Water is a very receptive dravya. It receives everything very fast. And therefore that water is sprinkled all over in the household, and whosoever people are there around, right? So these all things are called Bheshaja. So it is not just applying some ointment, and okay, go. Injection laga diya, go. Not like that. There has to be mantra, there has to be some vidhana, some rite. So now this Dhruva Siddhi wants to do Udakumbha Vidhana. So this is an elaborate vidhana, and that is given by the commentators here, that, Bhairava Tantra. In the Bhairava Tantra, this is given. Bhairavi uvacha deva deva jagannatha jagatam hitakaraka kenopayena bhagavan martyaha sarpa visham jayet. How to get across, transgress the powers of sarpa visha. Okay. Ishvara uvacha. This is between Ishvara and Bhairavi, Parvati. Shrunu devi pravakshami yannoktam kasyachit pura udakumbha vidhanena visham rajimatam jayet. Ghatamekam samadaya, you take a ghata. Then mrunmayam, it has to be ardhan ghata. Avranam, not broken anywhere. Avranam. Kanya kartita sutrena veshtanam tad gale charet. A kanya. Kanya is a girl below the puberty age. So she has to do the sutra, and that sutra is tied to the kandhara of the ghata. Then Koshatakyagnikaha Patha Suryavalya Bhaya Shelu Shirisha, so many this thing, Punarnava and all these herbs are to be Trikatuka, Bruhati, Bala, all these herbs to be put in that. And then Ghatantam Lepayettena Bahirbhagam Tudhupayet, Kalka uska Kalka karke, pest. Ghatantam lepayettena bahirbhagam tudhupayet. And then there are so many things, but there are Sarsapa also. Sarsapa are the, what is that? Sarsapa is, Sarshapala काय म्हणतात? Raji, mustard seeds. Sarshapa taila is a mustard oil. So Sarshapas are also put in that. And Sarshapa, I tell you, they are referred to various places as Durita Kshaya Nivaraka. In fact, if you refer to Banabhatta's Kadambari, Harshacharita, Tarapida's wife, when she was in labor and she was to give birth to Chandrapida, the lying in chamber, her Prasuti Griha, everywhere the Gaura Sarshapa were scattered, tells Banabhatta. Mustard. Okay. So this is the Udakumbha Vidhana. So Udakumbha Vidhana I want to do for the Vishavega Nirupana, Vishavega Nivarana, and for that the most important thing for us, Sarpamudritam Kimapi Kalpayitavyam. I want something with an emblem of Sarpa. Tadanvishyata. Search for that. So now you know what is that Sarpa Mudra. That is the Anguliyaka, right? So we'll see next time. This is almost time now. So tad anvishyatam, and the king and the people. I mean, even before the king says, looks here and there, what is that Sarpa Mudrita? Queen Dharini, she's such a simple-hearted lady, and she really felt that he is in danger of life. She immediately comes with a ring. Iha Sarpa Mudritam Anguliyakam. Here it is. Sarpa Mudritam Anguliyakam. Paschan mama haste dehi etat. She tells, because she knows it for certain that, Malavika and Bakulavalika are in the cell and they could be released only by showing this. And now this is being employed for Vidushaka. So, Paschat, don't give it to anybody else. Mama haste dehi etat. So, this is it. We are wanting only the Sarpa Mudra, something, and then let us see now whether Malavika and Bakulavalika really get freed and really the king meets them or no. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi